Welcome, everyone. So nice to see your sweet faces. We're gonna start off laying on our backs. Zuby, hey. So you can start with your knees bent. Allow the sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of the spine, to settle. And then if it's comfortable to extend the heels away from the crown of the head, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort, just keep the feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees fall together with the knees bent so the legs can relax, but the low back will be supported. Taking a moment to check in with ourselves before we get moving. Bring your awareness to your breath and notice the quality of the breath in this moment. Notice if the chest feels tight or open, if the breath is short or long, if the inhales or the exhales bear more weight. And then take a moment to intentionally deepen your breath. Remembering that the breath is like a control dial on the awareness. So bring your awareness to the diaphragm right below the ribs. And as you inhale, feel it expand downward. As you exhale, soften back and spread wide across the floor. Allow the next inhale to go all the way up to the top of the lungs, almost into your neck. And as you exhale, soften into the support of the ground beneath you. Next inhale, expands the lungs fully in both directions, filling the torso from the inside out like a balloon. And as you exhale completely, feel that stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane. And then do a quick scan through the physical body from the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. Inhale and pull the awareness up through the legs, into the pelvis, the hips, the low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort. And as you inhale deeply, breathe into those areas, gently open and expand them with the in-breath. As you exhale completely, allow some tension to leave the body with the breath. Next inhale pulls the awareness up the torso, into the shoulders, the neck, and the face. Once again, noticing where in the upper body you're holding tension today. And using the breath to bring the awareness there. The inhales, it creates space, inviting fresh blood and oxygen to flow through those areas, bringing health, healing, and vitality. As you exhale completely, consciously ask the body to soften, release, and let go. Lastly, check in with your mind. Notice where your thoughts are at. Observe the speed at which they're moving through you. Take a big step back from identifying as the thoughts And begin to just witness their passing through the mind like clouds through the sky, without getting attached or carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but just becoming aware of the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns, in the way that you speak to yourself. And then bring the awareness back and anchor it fully on the breath. Have a few more of those deep, long breaths, filling the torso, filling the top of the lungs, almost all the way up into the neck. And as you exhale completely, connecting to that universal blueprint for optimal alignment that exists when the bones and joints stack in the back body plane. When the skeletal system supports us in this way, the muscles and the organs, specifically the heart and the lungs, don't have to work so hard. So we're facilitating some ease for the body when we look for this alignment in all of the shapes. And then with an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. Rock gently from side to massage the low back. And then with an exhale, roll to the right side. Press down with the palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Check back in. Look for that same alignment that brings the lightness into the body. Building your connection with the shape from the ground up. So it may feel good to inner rotate the thighs and move the flesh of the buttocks out. Feel and find the sits bones, those two bones at the base of the pelvis, and feel that you're pressing down evenly into both of them. If there is a tendency for the pelvis to roll back here because the hips are tight, you might want to grab a pillow or a blanket and sit up on it. There's a relationship between the shape in the lower back and the shape in the shoulders. If the pelvis is not in a neutral position where it can ground down fully, then we can't lift and lengthen through the crown of the head and align the neck. Good. So from that grounding in the pelvis, lift through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Roll the shoulders together down and center the shoulder blades into the back body to broaden the chest. Being aware of the tendency to just arch the back here and tucking the low ribs down. Finding this balance of all of these opposing forces that create stability. Chin is parallel to the floor and we slide the jawbone back. So often, because we're here, when we put the shoulders back, our head is still here. So sliding the jawbone back, chin parallel to the earth, tips of the ears lift up. Okay. We're focusing on the alignment in the neck and throat today, site of the 5th chakra, Vishuddha, meaning purification. And the element here is sound or vibration. One of the tools that we use in this practice to clear our bodies out energetically. We are at a very crucial and interesting time in the collective consciousness and in human evolution. And we need to, gather and use all of our tools that we have. We need to recognize and understand where we have power, both individually and collectively. There is a lot of, well-founded kind of fear narrative and dialogue going on right now. And by no means am I telling you not to be informed and not to always, wash your freaking hands, stay home, use best practices. But once we have gathered that information, does it serve us to continue to dive into the narratives of, fear? In my experience, it really, really doesn't. And I can spiral out and think that I have a tickle in my throat and I'm gonna die in 2 seconds. Or I can remember how much agency I have to focus my awareness on what is empowering and what is useful to me in this moment. So I have been trying to think about narratives of health and healing, and narratives of where this big change can take us in the future. Because there's been a lot of underlying problems in our society that we have been unwilling to address because we're so freaking comfortable in the United States and the first world, right? This crisis is bringing to the surface and bringing to our awareness the way in which our society and our economic system doesn't serve the interests of the people that make it up. And so it's time for us to use the power of our words to call a new reality into being. So I ask you to connect to your creative power and potential, and to really think and speak and write and say what you would like to see, the trajectory, the growth, the evolution, the direction you would like to harness and direct this change to go. Because I think it can be, the revolution we've been waiting for. Or, if we don't get intentional, creative, if we don't use our words to cultivate hope, strength, vision, then it could just be back to business as usual, whenever the quarantine is over. And I don't think that will serve anyone. And I think the same problem will happen again if we don't get really intentional about how we choose to direct this energy. Okay, so with an inhale, you can reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale through the mouth with sound. Let go. We're gonna do that 2 more times, clearing our body out energetically. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And once more, inhale. Good. And we're gonna ohm, and today we're just gonna ohm for 2 or 3 minutes straight. So you're just gonna inhale, ohm, inhale, ohm, inhale, ohm. And you don't have to wait for me or anyone else. Although you are welcome to unmute yourself if you want to feel some more togetherness in this virtual space. So we will inhale deeply to prepare for the sound of Om. Honoring the fourth part of Om, the silence that follows. That is the backdrop to all sound and consciousness. Observing where the vibrations, how they resonate through the body, feeling their effects. And then we'll do some breath work. For today, we're gonna interlace the hands and bring them under the chin. Keep the shoulders rolled together and down the back. And as you inhale, lift the elbows up. And as you exhale, elbows down, head back. Inhale, lift the elbows, chin neutral. Exhale, elbows down, head back. Inhale, lift the elbows, head neutral. Exhale, elbows down, head back. Do 4 more times like that. Good, return to center. Feel free to sway the head from side to side a little bit. And then we will switch out the crossing of the fingers. So whatever feels normal, you're gonna do the opposite. And again, bringing the hands under the chin, making sure the shoulders are back, the jawbone is back. As you inhale, elbows lift. As you exhale, the head back, chin up. Inhale, elbows lift. Feel how the lungs can fill. Exhale, elbows in, chin up. Do 5 more on your own. We're doing 7 in each round. 1 breath for each chakra. And then return to neutral and release. Again, you can circle your head just in the front side plane a few times. And then we'll bring the right hand to the outer left side of the head. Roll both shoulders together and down. With an exhale, dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder, but the shoulder is still rolled down the back away from the ear, allowing the weight of the arm to stretch out the head and neck. Feel free to move in any way that feels good to you to deepen the stretch. And then extend out through the left fingertips, palm facing up. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And inhale to center. Roll the shoulders back a little. Take the left hand to the outer right side of your head, keeping the shoulders drawn together and down the back as you exhale and lower the ear towards the shoulder, allowing the weight of the arm to stretch the neck, moving the head to find the deepness and the sweetness of the stretch. And then extend that right arm out, palm facing up, and stretch the fingertips away. 3 more deep, long breaths, breathing into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale, consciously asking the body to soften more deeply. Good. Inhale to center. Interlace the hands and bring them behind your head. Draw the shoulders together and down the back. Drop the chin to the chest. Allow the weight of the hands to stretch out the back of the neck. Have 5 deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, lift the head. And we'll make our way onto hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. Ground your knees under your hips. Turn your biceps forward. Feel how that action of rotating the arms rolls the shoulders back and broadens through the collarbone and neck. If you don't feel it, play with turning the elbows back. You want to find whatever creates more spaciousness in your body as we work. And then with an inhale, drop the abdomen down, lift the tailbone and the gaze. Exhale, press down and curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of your body. Allow that synchronicity to bring you fully and completely into the present moment. And move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shapes. Good. Observe the spine, where it is hypermobile and tends to crunch, as well as where it is tight and moves in chunks. Gathering information about what's going on in your body. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And when you are ready, you can tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and press back to downward facing dog. Making that V shape with the body. Build your shape from the ground up. Make sure the hands and feet are evenly grounded. If the hips are tight and the back is rounded, take a slight bend in your knees right over your ankles. And then everybody inhale and lift the hips high. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. As you exhale, take the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Outer edge of the feet are turned parallel with outer edge of the mat. And see if you can feel that action of pressing the thigh bones back and how it lengthens and makes space in the lower back. Let the head hang heavy. 3 more deep, long breaths. And then with an inhale, float forward into plank pose. Always an option to lower the knees while we work the alignment in plank, but there's a lift from the underside of the pose. The abdomen lifts, and the back of the ribs lift to meet the shoulder blades. These muscles between the shoulder blades need to be strengthened. They support both the shoulder blades and the head when we're standing. Lift the back of the head. Extend the heels and the crown away from each other. Have 1 more big breath here. And exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin. Pausing here with the booty lifted. Feeling that curve in the lower back and the curve in the back of the neck. Press down with the palms to roll the shoulders back. Have one more big breath. And exhale, press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Everything on the ground, pressing firmly down to lift the heart and crown. Center of the shoulder blades, draw together down and into the spine. And notice if there's one part of the neck where you're just crunching, right? Drop the chin to the chest a little bit. Have one more big inhale. And exhale, seat to heels, press back, child's pose. Allowing the energy of the hips, hi baby, to settle towards the heels. So even if the hips don't touch the heels, there's a grounding of the lower body energetically that gives you the leverage to walk the fingertips forward and breathe, lengthen space into each vertebrae in the spine. Exhale here. Take your hands as wide as your shoulders. Bring some energy into the arms by pressing down into the palms. Pull from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart to draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And then keep the index knuckle mound grounded as you turn the biceps up. That same rotation in the arms that creates space in the neck and throat. As you exhale, center of the shoulder blades and outer armpits towards the floor. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. If the neck is strained in this pose, you can always take a pillow or blanket under the forehead to support the neck a little bit more. Remembering this engagement in the arms, shoulders, this space in the neck and throat for downward facing dog. With an inhale, rise, hands and knees. My hair is out of control today. Exhale, pause here. With your next inhale, lift your right arm up. Lean back, stack the shoulders, open the heart. Feel how as you press through the palms, you get the leverage to roll the shoulders down and into the back body. Exhale, tuck that right arm under the left. Scoot the left fingertips out. You're gazing up under that left armpit for a twist. Keeping the right hip widening to the right, the lower abdomen drawn back, and then pressing into the left fingertips to roll the shoulders back. Feel what you're doing in your neck. You might need to slide the jawbone back. Have one more big breath. And inhale it back to center. Exhale, pause here. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Press out through the hands to roll the shoulder blades together down. And center of the shoulders hug into the back body. Exhale, tuck that left arm under the right. Widening the right hip the left hip to the left to stabilize the pelvis. Cinch the low ribs and the hip bones together to engage the core. Press into that right hand to roll the shoulders back. And notice if your neck is all jammed up and slide the jawbone back. Stack the vertebrae of the neck in line with the vertebrae of the spine and have one more deep, long breath. And inhale to center. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high. Press it back, downward facing dog. With the hands and feet evenly grounded, outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Inhale, lift and spread the fingers and toes. Feel how that draws the energy up the arms and legs. Stretch them out and ground them down. From that grounding, inhale and lift the abdomen. Lift the hips high. Remembering to take that slight bend in your knees if your low back is rounded. And then press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Lengthening the lower back. Head hangs heavy. Press down into the palms to lift the forearms away from the floor. Pull from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart.
Turn the biceps forward. Take the center of the shoulder blades up and back to the thigh bones as they move up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. 3 breaths. And with an inhale, begin to walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Feel free to bend the knees here. Let the abdomen come towards the thighs so that the upper body can totally release and relax. All the tension draining out through the crown of the head. Shake it, yes. And no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to release the tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. And then with an inhale, return to center. And exhale, release the arms down. Next inhale, begin to roll up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones. The vertebrae stack. Shoulders and head are the last things to rise. Good. And then just, we're gonna talk a lot today about this relationship between the arch and the curve in the lower back and the arch and the curve in the neck. The micro and macro levels of the chakra system, the body, reality reflecting one another. And so we say a lot, lengthen the spine, but the spine is not like really a straight line, right? It has curves that are inherent to how it shock absorbs and how it supports us optimally. So we want to create and protect and honor the curves while at the same time lengthening the spine. So standing with the feet as wide as the hips, outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Stick your booty out slightly to take the thigh bones back so that the center of the hips come over the knees and ankles. Finding a balance of the actions, thigh bones back, and center of the buttocks into the midline. You'll feel that as the center of the buttocks moves into the midline, the tailbone roots down, and your connection to the earth gets more solid. As the tailbone roots down, the frontal hip bones, the pelvic floor, the low abdomen draw in and up. From that grounding of the lower body, we get the leverage to lift the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Turn the palms to face forward, to roll the shoulders down the back. Feel that the chin's parallel to the earth, jawbone slides back, tips of the ears lift up. There's this little curve in the lower back and in the neck. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine, pressing into the palms to roll the shoulders back. Exhale, step the right leg back, lower the right knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Anjaneyasana. Next, inhale is hugging your legs energetically towards each other like scissors. It's gonna bring the hips to face forward and take the thigh bones back a little bit. So we can root the tailbone down, lift the frontal hip bones, take the whole center of the buttocks forward. So we're like super strong, grounded, stable through the legs as we're giving us the leverage to lift up through the fingertips, the crown of the head more. As you stretch through the fingertips, you get the leverage to roll the shoulders down the back. You can stay right here with the head in a neutral position, or begin to lift the sternum and lean back for 3 breaths. Being aware to not just collapse into the back of the neck, but to use the shape, the little arch, to open up through the front of the throat, building the strength there. Good, with an exhale, release the hands down. Step the left foot back, come to downward facing dog. You're welcome to stay in down dog or inhale, float forward to plank. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, chin. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. And with an inhale, lift the right leg high. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Press out through both heels and press that left thigh bone back. Cultivating that balance and evenness in the pelvis and lower back. So you can breathe balance and evenness into the side bodies and sides of the neck. With your next exhale, step the right foot forward. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, rise, lifting the arms up. Hug your legs towards each other energetically. Root the tailbone down. Center of the buttocks into the midline. Opening up through the left hip flexor. Inhale, lift the frontal hip bones. Lift the fingertips and the crown of the head. Exhale, roll the shoulders down the back. And if you did so on the other side, lean back. Tailbone rooting as the sternum lifts. Gazing up but not collapsing into the back of the neck. 3 breaths. Inhale back to center and exhale, release the hands down. Tuck the back toes. Your next inhale steps your back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Taking a moment to check in with your alignment. Making sure that we have the thigh bones back. Center of the buttocks drawn into the midline. So we're stacking the hips, the knees, and ankles so we can stack the spine. And with an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, left leg back this time. Coming into a lunge on the right side. Always an option to lower the back knee down, or for this round to keep the back knee lifted. Front knee stacks right over the front ankle. As you inhale, the legs hug together. Hips face forward. There's extension from the back heel out through the crown of the head. Keep that as you inhale and lift the right arm up for a twist. Hips face forward. Twist happens at the core. Pressing through the palms to roll the shoulders together down and center of the shoulder blades into the spine. 3 breaths. You can have your chin in line with your sternum, gazing forward, or you can gaze up towards the top fingers. With that third exhale, release. Ground the palms, step back, downward facing dog. Again, you're always welcome to stay in down dog, or to inhale and float forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, chin. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return your awareness to your breath. And with an inhale, lift the left leg high. Lifting from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Press the right thigh bone back as you press out through both heels. Cultivate that balance and evenness in the pelvis. Turn the biceps forward and take the center of the shoulder blades up and back to that right thigh bone. One more big inhale. Exhale, step the left foot through between the hands. Coming into that lunge on the left side. Front knee stacks over the ankle. As you inhale, scissor the legs together. Feel the inner leg and groin muscles engaged. Feel the pelvic floor and the abdomen lift. Keep that compaction at the core as you extend through the heel and the crown of the head. Next inhale lifts the left arm up. Pressing through the palms to roll the shoulder blades together. Down and center of the shoulders hug into the spine. 3 breaths. Sternum, chin in line with the sternum, slide the jawbone back. Then maybe you gaze up. And with that third exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Next, we'll do sun salutation A. For today, because we're focusing on the throat, we're gonna arch back. We wanna remember to root the tailbone down towards the heels and draw the center of the buttocks into the midline as we arch back. So we're never gonna be doing like this with our back. That is gonna strain the super mobile part of the lower back. But with the thigh bones back, with the tailbone grounded, inhale, lift the arms, lift the sternum, lift the gaze, lean back. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank pose. Find that lift between the shoulder blades, the lift through the back of the head, and then exhale, lower knees or chaturanga, but keeping that one long line of energy through your body. Inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back and lift through the crown of the head here. Don't collapse. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Allow the breath to be deep and long. Cultivating that balance and evenness. That brings balance and evenness into the heart rate and the speed of the thoughts through the mind. With an inhale, we'll meet back in down dog, and with an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down. One more time. Thigh bones back, tailbone grounding towards the heels. Inhale, lift the sternum, the arms, the gaze, lean back. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Lift the muscles between the ribs to support, between the shoulder blades to support the head, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back, extend through the neck. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Anchor the awareness back on the breath. And for today, as we want to shift the focus from dis-ease to health and healing, locate a part of your body that feels particularly good and strong. Have a few breaths with your awareness there, feeling what that feeling feels like. We just spend so much time looking for what's wrong, and sometimes it's helpful to refocus. We'll meet back in down dog if you're not there already. And with an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Cool. With your next inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat, chair pose. Knees bend in line with the ankles, whether the feet are together or apart. The thigh bones move back, the booty sticks out to get low. Center of the buttocks draws into the midline to lift the front body. Reach through the crown and the fingertips. Soften the shoulders down the back and the low ribs down the front. Have one more breath. And then shift the weight to the right foot and step the left leg back. Warrior one. Deep bend in the front knee. Legs hug energetically towards each other. That back thigh bone inner rotating. When the hips face forward, the tailbone can ground so that we lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown, stretching through the fingertips and then softening them down the back. With your next exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift the sternum, lift the gaze. You can work with the front leg bent or straight, but as you exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Finding that balance and evenness in the hips so we can breathe length and space into both side bodies and sides of the neck. Shoulders are still drawing together and down the back, away from the ears. The head hangs heavy, back of the neck long. Arms draw actively away from the back body. Have one more breath. Exhale, ground the palms, step back. You can come to down dog or child's pose, or you can inhale and float forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower, knees touch chin or chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Again, bringing your awareness back to that part of your body that feels strong and stable. And since we've already sent some breaths there, I invite you to then inhale and expand that feeling of strength and stability out into other areas of your body. Moving out from the center of that strength and stability. Maybe breathing it into some places that are feeling a little bit tender or not so strong in this moment. Have one more breath. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall. Tadasana, mountain pose. Good, we have one more side. Remembering that the knees bend in line with the ankles. They can go past the ankles in this pose, but not feet out, knees in, right? Inhale, arms reach up, chair pose. Sticking your booty out to get low, rooting your tailbone down to lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown, the fingertips. With an exhale, soften the shoulders down the back, soften the low ribs down and back. Have one more big inhale, and exhale, fold forward over the legs. Oh no, you keep doing that, okay. No, exhale, step your right leg back into warrior one. Oopsies. Hugging your legs energetically towards each other. Root the tailbone down. Lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown. Lift the fingertips and roll the shoulders down the back. With your next exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. You can work bowing warrior with the front knee bent or with the front leg straight. Either way, hinging at the hips, folding forward, keeping and cultivating the balance and evenness in the pelvis as you work on the alignment in the shoulders and neck. Shoulders draw together and down the back, away from the ears. The head hangs heavy, back of the neck long. Actively drawing the arms away from the back body for one more breath. And exhale, release, ground your palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to down dog or child's pose. Wherever you're working, keeping your awareness on your breath. Feeling the heat that is being generated in the body through the practice. And breathing it into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. As you exhale completely, seeing what you can release. Not just physically, but limitations on the mind and vision as well. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And with an inhale, gaze forward, step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. How are you guys doing? Yeah. Okay. We'll take the feet wide. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Arms to the side. Turn the left foot in slightly and the right foot out all the way. That back thigh bone is back in line with the knee and ankle. Lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, ground them down. As you exhale, widening the back hip back, cutting the front thigh bone back. Stretch your side bodies long. Come down into your triangle pose. Good. Scanning your body from the ground up and looking for any areas that feel compressed. Feeling free to make adjustments to create more space. Bring the top hand to the back of the head and press the head back into the hands. Lengthen your neck on all sides. The head and the hand press together, the shoulders roll back. Maybe you want to stay right here. Maybe you want to lift the arm up. Maybe you want to shift the gaze. 3 breaths. And then with an exhale, take a deep bend in your front knee. You can always bring your elbow to your knee. From the tailbone, press through the back heel and the back edge of the back foot. Lengthen your arm over your ear. Notice if your head is like hanging down and your neck is all kinds of crumped here. Lifting the ear towards the arm and then softening the shoulder down the back. Chin in line with the sternum, jawbone slides back, and then maybe you gaze up. 3 breaths. Good, we're bringing that left hand to the left hip. Hop the back foot in. Scoot the fingertips out. Press down through the right big toe mount and out through both heels as you rise. Stack the hips and shoulders. Maybe you find it useful to bring that left hand to the back of the head again. Lengthen through the neck. Lift the arm up. Maybe you gaze up. 3 breaths. And with an exhale, bend and into the standing knee, landing with that foot back behind you. Pass through warrior 2. Straighten the legs. Turn both feet to face forward. Turn the outer edge of the right foot in slightly, left foot out, all the way. Lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, ground them down. As you exhale, widen the back hip back. Cut the front thigh bone back. Make sure the groin isn't pressing forward, but there's spaciousness as you stretch the side bodies long and come down into your triangle pose. Good. Scan your body from the ground up, noticing if you're collapsing into the knees, and lift, bend the knee, lift from the back of the knee up. Press from the back of the knee down. Noticing if you're crunched in the front hip and thigh bone back, buttock into the midline. Bring that hand to the back of the head and lengthen your neck on all sides. Allow yourself to observe and experience something different than you usually do. Press the head and the hand together. Roll the shoulders back. and choose your adventure. Maybe you want to extend the arm up. Maybe you want to keep it behind your head. Maybe you want to gaze straight over the sternum. Maybe you want to gaze up. 3 breaths. Inhale, rise. Exhale that deep bend. Maybe the elbows on the knee. Maybe the fingertips to the floor behind your foot. Either way, back leg, thigh bone back. From the tailbone, grounding down through the heel and the back edge of the back foot. Inhale, reach the arm over the ear. And just notice the tendencies in your neck. We're usually all like here. So we lift our ear to touch our arm. Then we roll the shoulder down the back again. 3 more deep, long breaths. Good, right hand to the hip. Hop the back foot in, scoot the fingertips out. Press through the left big toe mount and out through both heels as you stack the hips and stack the shoulders. If the head is hanging forward, it's very heavy and it's gonna throw you off balance. Maybe you wanna try to bring that right hand to the back of the head and lengthen the neck. Maybe you wanna extend the arm up. Maybe the gaze stays forward, maybe it stays to the floor, maybe it shifts up. 3 breaths. With an exhale, bend the knee, land back. Whew, warrior 2. Turn, straighten the leg and turn the feet to face forward. Step or jump the feet together. Come back to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, round the palms, step or jump back. Feel free to move through vinyasa or to come to down dog or child's pose. Actually, let's all meet in child's pose. Return the awareness to the breath and check back in with the quality of the breath, the tension in the body, the speed of the thoughts through the mind in this moment. Good. And then we'll come forward onto the abdomen. Interlace your hands behind your back. Hug your legs together. Inhale, lift everything you can lift up off the ground. Exhale, extend out. Lifting the arms away from the back body. The shoulders roll down the back. Notice if you're collapsing or crunching into one part of your neck. Make adjustments. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an exhale, release. Turn the head to one side. Gently sway the hips. Release the low back. Allow yourself to find that balance of will and surrender, of working hard, of doing your best, and then allowing yourself to relax. Good, we'll bend the knees and grab the ankles. The knees are no wider than the hips as you kick the feet back into the hands. Pull the hands on the feet. Thigh bones stay pretty much grounded until the heels are over the knees, and then you can lift up. 3 more deep, long breaths. Feeling what's happening in your neck and making adjustments. And exhale, release. Turn your head to the other side. Sway out the hips. Good, and then roll over onto your back. Press the back of the head and the shoulders firmly into the floor. They become your foundation here. Knees are bent, feet grounded. In close to the buttocks, outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. With an inhale, lift the pelvis, the low back, the middle back. Interlace your hands behind your back. Everything on the ground presses firmly down into the ground. You can interlace the hands or just roll the palms to face up. The heart is the focal point here. So as you press down with the back of the arms, you lift the heart. From the heart, extend through the knees. From the heart, extend through the crown. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Softening the buttocks. That's not the muscle that we're working here. And with that third exhale, release. Take the arms wide and drop the legs to the right side. It's a wide twist. The left knee is coming towards the right foot. The low body is heavy. Breathe length and space into the spine. As you exhale, soften more deeply. Inhale back up to center and exhale. The knees over to the other side. An open twist with the right knee coming towards the left foot. The low body is heavy. Breathe length and space into the spine. Exhale, soften into the back body plane. Have one more big breath here. And then with an inhale, return to center. Draw the knees into the chest. Rock gently from side to side. Massage the low back. Rock forward and back to come up to balance on the sits bones. You can ground the fingertips behind you, shins parallel to the earth. Maybe you want to stay right here. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe you want to lift the hands, maybe straighten the legs. But keeping the collarbone broad and the neck in line with the spine, have 5 breaths. Good. Exhale the soles of the feet together. Again, if your pelvis is tilted back, sit up on a blanket or a pillow. Try to give yourself some leverage to get the pelvis into a neutral position. Ground down through the sits bones. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. If your pelvis is lifted and you can hinge at the hips, fold forward. If your pelvis is rounded back, the work is just to lift the spine. Wherever you're working, close your eyes, climb inside the shape. Have 5 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, softening more deeply. And then with an inhale, rise. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to choose your own adventure at this moment. So I've been teaching a lot of shoulder stand because we're on the neck and throat, and because it's such a beneficial pose for the immune system. But it's also like one of the, well, it is the most difficult inversion to do in proper alignment. So I'm giving all kinds of different variations and modifications so that you can experience the benefits of it without having to put a bunch of pressure on the head and neck if you don't want to. So ways that you can do that are to elevate the hips with pillows and blankets and put your legs up the wall. This is a great place to be. It's like a supported shoulder stand. The head and shoulders are grounded. The chin is lifted off the chest. The legs are elevated, but you're not totally weight bearing on the head and neck. Another way you can do a very similar thing is if you have a chair or an ottoman. If the chair has a back, you can always do your legs just sideways on the chair. And if you just elevate the hips a little bit with pillows and blankets, you can experience that same kind of effect. The blankets will come right below the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades are flat on the floor. You could elevate more or less depending on what you have laying around. If shoulder stand is part of your practice, you're of course welcome to come up into shoulder stand at any time. The main thing I want to say is when you come up into shoulder stand, do not turn your head. You are weight bearing on the head and neck. The back of the arms and the shoulders are also part of your foundation, but you never want to turn your head or neck in shoulder stand. So if you want to do it and you are not super comfortable, I'm going to talk you through it. Please watch my demonstration and then I'll talk you through it again. So coming up into shoulder stand, we press the back of the head and the shoulders into the mat. They're your foundation, they do not change. You can grab the mat by the hips or grab the fingertips by the hips. Use that as leverage to flip the legs up and overhead. When the feet touch the floor, you can interlace the hands behind the back to roll the shoulders under, or just try to get the elbows in as close to each other as you can, because they're going to support you here as you bring your hands onto the upper back, which is low down to the floor. Palms face up, or palms against the back, fingers face up. You're welcome to stay here in plow pose, lifting the thigh bones, or to play with bending the knees in by the ears, or to lift one leg up at a time. Either way, the back of the head, the shoulders, the back of the arms, press down to lift the heels up. If you are up in a shoulder stand, taking 10 to 20 breaths. If you're not up yet, I'm going to talk you through it again if you do want to come up. Please feel no pressure whatsoever to do the unsupported version of this pose. But just as I said I would, press the back of the head and shoulders down. Grab the mat or ground the fingertips by your hips. Use that as leverage to kick the feet up and overhead. If the feet can come down to touch the ground behind you, you can interlace the hands behind the back to roll the shoulders under. Or you just want to try to get your elbows in close to bring the hands onto the back. With the feet on the ground, lifting the thigh bones, plow pose, bending the knees by the ears is another one, or extending one heel up towards the ceiling and then the other. When you are in shoulder stand, the back of the arms, shoulders, head, press down to lift the heels. It's not a piked position. The booty doesn't stick out. We draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to lift up higher. Whenever you are ready to come down, you can drop the feet down behind your head, release the arms, and roll the spine out vertebrae by vertebrae. After that shoulder stand, you are welcome to find Shavasana, or because I just can't stop talking and going on and on and on, there's the offering for one more pose, the Ashtanga counter pose to shoulder stand, which is fish pose. If you want to do fish pose, you're laying on your back. You're going to rise up onto the forearms with them grounded behind you. Your fingertips are like just behind your buttocks. Again, pressing down into the arms to lift the sternum, roll the shoulders back, and then you're sliding back with the chest lifted to bring the crown of the head to the floor. You are welcome to stay right here and have 5 to 10 breaths. To lift the hands in prayer above your head, or to lift the legs in Navasana, both pose. 5 breaths, wherever you're at. When you come down, lower the legs, ground the forearms, press down to lift the head, and then lower all the way onto your back. Shavasana, if you're not there already, return your awareness to your breath. Allow the breath to be so deep and so long that you feel it touch down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale completely, any residual tension, criticalness, anxiety, leaves the body with the breath through the fingertips. So through this practice of yoga in general, and Shavasana, corpse pose in particular, we let go. The body is emptied out. We release the narratives of fear and victimization. We make space for new stories, visions, dreams to take root. take this moment to savor any strength, stability, resilience you felt in your body or mind through the practice today. And begin to intentionally deepen the inhales, the aspect of the breath that enlivens and invigorates. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gently sway the head. With an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll to the right side body. Using that right arm as a pillow. As you pause and move slowly, gather your bearings. When you are ready, press down with the palms to lift up. Keep the eyes closed for a moment as you come to a comfortable seated position. Return your awareness to your breath. Notice the quality of the breath after the practice. Notice where in the body you're still holding tension and where some things may have shifted. Observe the speed of the thoughts through the mind in this moment. And then return the awareness to anchor on the breath. We will seal our collective efforts with a single Om, allowing the pelvis to ground down. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale, soften the shoulders together and down the back. Slide the jawbone back and lean gently back to stack the vertebrae. Align this internal antenna within us that connects us to all things. And inhale deeply to prepare. Bring the hands to the heart and bow the head in gratitude for the tools of this practice that remind us the power of what we choose to focus on, the stories we choose to tell, the world we choose to call into being. Thank you guys so much for being here in person, or whatever that means at this time in life. I'm gonna stop these recordings. We got a pookers. I'm gonna unmute you all if you feel like saying hi.
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 What's up, Pookers?
It's hard to see some folks. But
Hi.
hi.
Hi, Pookers. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you guys so much. I sent out in the email where I forgot to send the link that I'm kind of thinking of changing up the schedule to just have it be more streamlined. I'm thinking like 3 days a week at 10 and 3 days a week at noon. But I also wanted to find out how people feel, specifically people that paid for a series with me. I don't, if the original time is ideal for you, I want to keep that. So just, if you feel like feeding me back, you can email me.
I'm not doing anything all day, so.
That's what I kind of figured. I know a few people are working, but I haven't seen them anyways. So I know they're like doing recordings. I figure with the recording,